What's up, YouTube? Kratos123 here. I apologize for the poor quality of this video. This is sadly the only way I can really do this deck profile online the way it is. So as you can see, of course, this is a deck profile for Dragon Ruler, Frog Monarchs kind of thing. I don't know what to call this deck. My friend said Frog Rulers, which is pretty funny. Um, so basically, you're using your Frog Monarchs with a bit of Dragon Rulers to make it, a little bit more OTK, I guess, varianted. So we'll go over the deck. There isn't really too much to say. Like as I've said before, um, all decks are usually mostly the same, just with a couple card differences. But let's just go through the deck profile. First, we have, your Kaias and your Reza. They are your monarchs. They do stuff. One removes, one returns cards to the top of their deck, and it's not destroyed, so Stardust can't do really anything about it. Next, we have two Jinzos. Dark 2400 negates traps. Uh, Pretty much, we don't use traps. Your opponent will usually use traps. Perfect card to use. Next, we have Light and Darkness Dragon. Now, Light and Darkness Dragon is your 2800 beat stick that negates everything. Makes your opponent have to waste resources just to get rid of your stuff, and or just sorry, rather just get rid of it. When it is destroyed, you get to special summon a monster from your graveyard that was not on your field beforehand um, to your side of the field, which is pretty awesome. Next, we have Tidal Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls. We are running three of these guys. I figured, it's not a bad thing to run three of these guys. We do have your Swap Frogs, your Treeborn Frogs, and your Ronin Totem. So, I mean, you have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 ways to get out Tidal before you even count the Tempests, which would make 12 ways to get out Tidal. So I mean, Tidal is very easy to get. The thing that I do like about Tidal though is you can discard a water monster, something like a Treeborn Frog maybe, or a Rodent Totem that's in your hand that you want to get into your graveyard, to discard it with that water monster and basically Foolish Burial a monster into your graveyard. Something like Zephyros the Elite would be a very good idea for it. Next, we have Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms. It is the exact same deal with title, except it is with wind monsters. Again, very easy to get out. It doesn't have the exact same amount. I mean, I think it only has nine, but nine is still a very good number. Its ability is, of course, you can discard a wind monster like our Reza here, with Tempest to get a dragon type monster from your deck to your hand. Something like Light and Darkness Dragon, or title Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls. First course, mainly you would go for the Light and Darkness Dragon. I do kind of like this because sometimes, like, I will rather get or rather play the Laddie than Reza because I know, like, if I play Light and Darkness Dragon, if they try to do something to it, it will negate it, and then they're going to have to go through some stuff just to get rid of Light and Darkness Dragon. Whereas Reza's a little easier to get rid of. So Tempest, easy to get out, will help you get out Light and Darkness Dragon. That is why he's in there. We are only running two of it though. One, Gore's the Emissary of Darkness. We are running no traps again, as I said before. So I mean, Gore's the Emissary of Darkness is a perfect card to run in this deck. We for our frog engine, we have our three swap frogs. We have our two treeborn frogs and a one Ronin Totem. I used to have Duke frogs in the deck, but then realized just how crap they were. Um, Everyone should really know the engine. Swap Frog takes Treeborn Frog to the graveyard, or Ronin Totem to the graveyard, and they can help you bring out your Monarchs, or your Light Darkness Dragon, or if you really need to, your Tempest or your Tidal. Sometimes I have had, because I played a couple of games, and I've wanted to sacrifice for these guys rather than special summon them. We have two Battle Faders. A lot of people say to run Battle Fader at 3. For me, I find, at least the people that I play with, um, I don't really need Battle Fader at 3. A lot of the time, it'll get stuck in my hand. Like, I'll be really playing the deck, and I won't be needing these Battle Faders whatsoever. So, two Battle Faders for me is the right choice. One, Blackwing Zephyros the Elite is an awesome card. It should always be run in Frog Monarchs. Um, you can Foolish Burial it, you can title Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls it, so it's an exceptional card. Return it to the graveyard to your field by returning a monster like your maybe Light and Darkness Dragon if it has like nothing on it left, I guess. And the Caius Shadow Monarch. Actually, I do believe you can do this. It's kind of like Swap Frog. You return a monster to your hand because it is a cost to special summon it. So, you have to return it to special summon it. So, Light and Darkness Dragon, you can return it to your hand to special summon this guy. And Light and Darkness can't do anything about it because it is a cost. It cannot negate a cost. Next, we have Blockluster Soldier. On for the beginning, I have four light monsters in total, two being Light and Darkness Dragons. Um, and then two in my extra deck being light, and then I have three Caius, two Jinzos, Gores, Black Moon Sephiroth, the Elite, Battle Fader. If it does somehow hit the graveyard. So I have a lot of darks for this guy, and I don't need to explain why you want to use Black Luster Soldier if you're using some lights and some darks, as long as you have easy access to them. It's a fine line. Because you can't just throw in Blackluster Soldier in a deck that uses maybe a couple lights and darks. You need to be able to actually have those light and dark monsters in the graveyard to actually be able to use this to its full potential. One Foolish Burial to get Zephyros the Elite. It gets your Treeborn Frog and stuff like that into the graveyard. We have Dark Hole for destruction. We have Soul Exchange at 3. We have so many monsters that need to be sacrificed for. Heck, even the Tempest and the Tidal. I was playing a game last night where I had a Swap Frog on the field. My opponent had a monster on their side of the field, and I didn't really want to special summon my title from my hand. So what I did was just soul exchange for the title. That way I still get the swap frog into my graveyard. And I have a title on board. It doesn't go back to my hand because it was not special summoned. It was normal summoned. And then when it does get destroyed, I can then, like say next turn, I can special summon it if I need to because now I have that swap frog in the graveyard to be able to do it. We have three enemy controllers. If you're playing Frog Monarchs, you usually do play the enemy controller because of the combo with Treeborn Frog. You special summon Treeborn, activate enemy controller because it's a quick play, sacrifice your Treeborn, take their monster, you get Treeborn back because it's still technically your standby phase. So it's a good way to get out either a two sacrifice monster or, like, say, a one sacrifice monster for, just sacrificing their monster. Three Pot of Dualities. Now that Pot of Duality is at 3, I do like to play it because it does, help you search your deck. You can special summon, which does kind of suck because this deck is definitely huge on special summoning. But Pot of Duality, it does give you that search in case maybe you need that Bloodcluster Soldier next turn. Maybe you need your Tempest. Maybe you need your Jinzo or your Light and Darkness Dragon. Um, Pot of Duality is just an epic, fantastic card. Now that it's at 3, I am definitely going to be running 3. We have the last card, Forbidden Lance, and Forbidden Lance is just, it is something you almost want to run in almost any deck, I figure. Especially something like this at 3 because, Monster Reborn is gone, Heavy Storm is gone. So, you have room to at least run 3 of these guys more so than some other cards. And, target one face-up monster on the field, and to the end phase, it loses 800 attack, but is unaffected by the effects of their spell and trap cards. So, the nice thing about this is, I'll say on your turn, um, say on your turn, you summon the bottomless, you forbidden land. You get to keep your monster. You don't get to really attack with it unless they're wide open, but it is saved for one turn. As well, if maybe your opponent attacks one of your guys and you want to keep it, you can forbidden lance their monster and make them lose 800 attack points. So, it is a very versatile card, and that's what I love about it. I always love those kind of cards. Extra deck, or sorry, side deck, you don't really need to pay too much attention. I just got some Maxian effect failures in there. You could technically put effect failures in there instead of maybe Tempest or something like that, but I rather the Tempest rather than the effect failure. For our extra deck, we have two Gachi Gachi Kentetsu, two Fujon Strike Bouncer. It's one of the lights. It's easy to get out. You're playing your Monarch engine, I guess. I don't like calling it an engine because it's not really an engine. But you have your Monarchs and your Jinzos to get him out. So if he's in the graveyard, you're good for BLS. Um, and it does use your main guys to bring this guy out. So it is not really hard to say get that light into the graveyard. His effect is awesome, very nasty. Daigusto Phoenix, I mean, it's a rank two. Once per turn, you can detach one exceed material from the card, target one face-up win monster. It can attack twice during the battle phase. You could pick your Reza, you could pick your Daigusto Phoenix if you really wanted to. Next we have one Slacker Magician. It is in there, you can Treeborn Frog and Battle Fader, or two Treeborn Frogs, and somehow two Battle Faders. I wouldn't really waste it like that though. Here's a good question though. I do believe if you do say go Trueborn Frog into Battle Fader, into Slacker Magician kind of thing, if you detach Battle Fader because it was kind of detached in such a different way that it didn't go from the field to the graveyard like that, would Battle Fader get removed from the game, or does it go to the graveyard? Just that I am not quite sure on. So if you guys know, just comment section below. Let me know if that play is correct. Um, we have number 11, Big Eye. This is something I wouldn't really run maybe in my real deck. I wouldn't spend the money to get the Big Eye. I am definitely waiting for him to become a reprint before I even get him. He's just in there just in case, like on Dueling Network. And then we have two Mecha Phantom Beast, Dracozak. I am getting one Japanese one. It cost me like 15 bucks, so like, heck, why not? Um, and the thing about playing with Japanese cards is I know you cannot use them in tournaments kind of thing or like your local kind of tournaments unless they say it's okay. Um, but like for me and my group of friends, we've all agreed, if you have a Japanese card, use it. Go ahead. I mean, we all if we know what the effect is or you can prove what the effect is, use it. Same with like say spell books. My friend wants to play spell books, and he wants the book of the master or whatever it's called. It's going to cost him a lot of money to get them in English, but in Japanese there's like 10 bucks for a play set. So I mean, like as I said, if you want to play with Japanese cards, just freaking go ahead. It's cheaper, way cheaper. But Mecha Phantom Beast can't talk. Um, I used him once in my game yesterday, found out just how destructive this guy really is. Holy crap. And he's a dragon plane. And that's what makes him probably one of the coolest cards out there is he's a dragon plane. He's not a bird plane, but he's a dragon plane. Um, but he is very destructive. And I mean, you can use him. You do have enough dragon rulers to actually pull him off in the deck. I have done it, and it is sick when you do. But that is the deck. Hopefully, I can actually get some, games going on here with this deck just to test it out a little bit more, um, and see what alterations I might be able to do with the deck, and we'll see. But we'll end the video there. This is Kratos123 playing Frog Monarchs at least till the end of the format because I do believe that the Dragon Rulers are going to be hit again because they're just too good. Yeah, this is Kratos123 signing out.